5 men were arrested inside an office building. Less than 2 years later, the President of the United States was forced to resign, not because they broke into the building, but because of what investigators found afterward. At first, it looked like an ordinary burglary, but the burglars weren't stealing money. They were carrying cameras, wiretapping equipment, secret cash, and instructions that would eventually lead investigators all the way to the White House. How could a simple break-in destroy the most powerful man in America? Over the next few minutes, you'll discover how one security guard, 2 determined journalists, and a hidden recording system uncovered one of the biggest political scandals in American history, and why Watergate changed the presidency forever. By 1972, Richard Nixon was one of the most powerful leaders in the world. His recent diplomatic success with China had made global headlines. Although the Vietnam War was still deeply controversial, many Americans believed Nixon was likely to win another presidential election. From the outside, his administration looked strong. But behind closed doors, fear was growing. The White House believed political opponents could damage Nixon's campaign. Instead of relying only on public debates and elections, some members of his re-election team approved secret intelligence operations against their rivals. They believed collecting confidential political information would protect Nixon's path to victory. It was a decision that would change American history forever. Then, everything began to fall apart because of one small piece of tape. Just after midnight, on June 17, 1972, security guard Frank Wills was making his routine inspection inside the Watergate office complex in Washington, D.C. As he checked the building, something immediately caught his attention. A strip of tape had been placed over the latch of a locked door. It prevented the door from locking completely. Frank removed it, thinking someone from the maintenance staff had simply forgotten it. A few minutes later, he walked past the same door again. The tape was back. Someone inside the building had quietly replaced it. At that moment, Frank realized this wasn't an accident. He immediately called the police. Officers arrived without attracting attention. Dressed in plain clothes, they quietly entered the building. Floor by floor, room by room, they searched through the dark offices. Then, inside the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee, they found 5 men hiding. These weren't ordinary thieves. None of them were carrying stolen jewelry or bags of money. Instead, investigators discovered professional cameras, miniature listening devices, electronic surveillance equipment, bundles of cash, false identification cards, and lockpicking tools. This wasn't a robbery. It was a political spying operation. No one outside that building realized it yet, but the future of an American president had just begun to collapse. The next morning, news of the arrest spread quickly across the country. White House officials immediately denied any connection. They insisted the president knew nothing about the break-in. For many Americans, that explanation sounded believable. The story seemed finished. But 2 young reporters refused to let it disappear. Their names were Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, working at the Washington Post. They noticed something strange. Professional burglars, expensive surveillance equipment, large amounts of cash. None of it made sense. Instead of accepting the official explanation, they kept asking questions. And every answer pointed closer to the White House. Then, a mysterious government source gave Bob Woodward just 3 words. Follow the money. Those 3 words would expose a conspiracy that no one believed was possible. And they would eventually bring down the President of the United States. To be continued.